Gene Lysaker's house here, and we will head up to Fargo in just a few minutes. Okay, we're going to go up and see AM1100, the flag, this morning, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Just hop right into the car and we'll head north or head south. We're running into a little fog up ahead here now. Yeah, it's a little foggy up here by Borup, but it'll burn off and it'll be blue skies. And now this is AM1100, the flag.
By the way, the sewer of the internet is what Tom Friedman, mainstream media panel suggested was the fault of all this. Poor Van Jones. Over 700 Hello, Gene.
How are you?
How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
Good to see you. Come on in, by golly. How's it going?
Pretty good.
All
I
right.
can't get along with a kid anymore.
That's all right. That's all right.
Good.
Thank you. Good to see you. Yeah.
Very good.
Come on, Chris, you want to show them over there? And
Sure.
You guys both grab a spot over there. All right, Scott Henry.
Not too bad. Gordon Fivig is my name.
Good to see you,
Nice
Gordon.
meeting you. As you notice, I do a lot of videotaping. I've been at some of your key parties.
Have you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And when Colin Peterson was out,
Great.
we were there.
Your son that's a Vietnam vet?
No, I'm just a good friend of Gene Lysaker.
Oh, okay.
So, are you putting him on the air?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gear him up, not me, because
Okay.
I'm just a driver.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Well, when I got back from
See, I didn't go on the trip you were on.
No, you were.
Yeah, that's when I'd left WDUI.
Yeah. I got a picture of Alberto there.
Yeah, I'm going again
I hear that.
on the Bismarck one.
When is that?
It's 17th, 18th?
Are you
Of
going
September?
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
From what Saturday would that be?
Sure. 17th is my birthday.
17th is next Thursday.
Oh, heck of a deal. Yeah, a week from Saturday.
Yeah.
Scoot you just a little closer to that mic if you would. All right. A friend of mine stopped in the studio that I wanted to say hi to. I mentioned this earlier that Gene Lysaker would be here, and Gene and I met on a B-24. Actually, it was me cheating because I was on a B-24, I don't know, a year or two ago. Gene was actually on a B-24 in World War II, so he is a member of the greatest generation, and so I got to know him there, and then later he was on the honor flight, the WDOI honor flights that took World War II vets to Washington, D.C., and we've corresponded ever since. So it's kind of fun. I just have such an unending love for the greatest generation and these World War II vets. It's just been fun to get to know him and others as well. And Gene, thanks for stopping by our studios, and good to see you today. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's fabulous. Now, you came all the way over from Twin Valley today to
I
see us,
took
huh?
my phone chauffeur and took a trip over here.
A heck of a deal. And how was the chauffeur's driving today? You do pretty good?
I sold my cars and I'm not driving anymore.
Well, you can't drive forever, right?
I drove over to Asia to get my driver's license, and I got there and I decided I'm too dangerous to be on this road. So I threw it away.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You went
I sold my cars, and I can't feel my feet when I'm driving, so it's a danger,
All right. Well, there's a time for everything, right? Give up the wheels, but you still got friends, and you got over to see us, and we're glad to see you. Remember that day on the B-24 that you got to get up there and fly again in a B-24?
Oh, that's something. It was a little different than a lot of the portholes that they had. They were closed, so we were kind of like in the box by ourselves.
Now, I don't remember, were the portals closed when you flew during the war, or were they closed on the replica?
They closed it on the plane. I flew on here.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. So when you were when you were in the war, you could see out the port
We
also.
could see way to.
That wasn't necessarily a good thing because a little dangerous, right?
A little dangerous, yeah. But they always had, we flew in the waist, I flew in the waist gun. And I was the armament man on the plane. I had to go out and arm the bomb before they dropped. I got a little slur to my voice when I got back. And a week later, after getting back from the trip to Washington, I got a little stroke. So I don't have a great radio voice.
You've got a great radio voice. I hear you just fine. It's fabulous. No, I remember that well. Do you remember how much today, this many years later, do you have recollections of whether it was in that B-24 or your time in the war?
Well, we always kept track of what was going on. I went to most of the reunions, and that's what all we talked about was what we did over this. We were reminded of our trips and everything. And we were attached to the Australian Air Force when I got there. And the officers it might be a gunner that's an officer and a captain that's a gunner. And they went by longevity on the plane, and I remember most of it.
Do you have? Is it kind of? Other than a reunion, do you think often about your service and about your time there, and go back to
more all the time?
More all the time.
I just talked to, emailed with a friend of mine from Australia. He's living in Bangkok now, but we went to an Air Force reunion over in Australia, and I got to know him over there. So he married a Vietnamese lady, and I called him up because a couple of people we both knew died. So I just contacted him and talked to him.
Speaking of which, one of the gentlemen that was on the B-24 with you and I that day, when it came into the Fargo Air Museum, Bob Evenson from up in Portland just recently passed away, as I know you know.
Yes, yes.
And it was an interesting story because, when the B-24 came to the Fargo Air Museum, we put out a call on the air to say, hey, we want to give away a couple of rides in this thing. They'd offered us rides, but we thought it'd be neater for people who actually had been part of a B-24 to go up. So we were having a little discussion about it on the air one day, and Bob won a slot, and so did Gene. The only problem is Gene needed a ride to get there. So Bob from Portland, North Dakota goes all the way over to Twin Valley to pick up Gene and bring him to the Fargo Air Museum and ride on the thing, and that's how we had that little mini reunion. So
Bob was quite a guy.
He sure was, and his wife Bob and his wife Fran. And
she gave up her ticket to get me on the plane.
That was the deal. They'd won two, and they wanted to give up one of them to have somebody else, and that's how
it happened that I happened to be in a B-24 in the war, and that's how he happened to pick me.
Exactly. Well, anyway, rest his soul. I just got a nice note from them and a picture that Bob had taken. He was a great photographer of an eagle that they sent us, since one of our radio stations is named Eagle 106.9. So, anyway, appreciate it very much. It's just, it really is neat. I have, just have an unending affection for you and your fellow World War II vets, because you guys not only saved the country, you came back and built the country. And, it just is amazing.
There were no czars around or anything.
What'd you say?
There were no czars around or anything when we got back.
We managed to build a country without a bunch of czars. Yeah, isn't that something?
I can't understand it yet.
How did it happen? Now we need 30, 40 of them,
They're going to break the record right now.
Even a communist or two in the mix, is among these czars. And you came back and built a country. When you came back, Gene, after the war, what do you remember most about that time?
Well, the first thing I remember is that when I got to Camp McCoy in Wisconsin, they asked if I wanted to stay around for a while and fix my teeth. I said, no, I want to get home as soon as possible. So I got back and I had 9 teeth filled that one of the next weeks.
Well, what a welcome! Hit the dentist chair for crying out loud.
We didn't have anyone meeting us like they do now, which is great.
Yeah, there were no fanfares. There were no welcome home parties, balloons, bands, none of that, right?
They didn't even know we were coming.
So you get off a train somewhere, I assume?
I got off a train in Camp McCoy, Wisconsin from San Francisco.
Okay.
And they weren't taking Air Force people through there, so we had to go through the different customs and everything.
So how'd you get from Wisconsin? Where was home at the time?
Twin Valley.
It's Twin Valley still.
Taking a bus to Fargo. My folks been in Fargo.
So you take a bus to Fargo from all the way from Wisconsin, and when you get off that bus, there's just mom and dad there.
That's it. And my sister was there.
And they bring you home?
Then started my routine for life in the art business.
Unbelievable. That's right, you're an artist, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. A good one, I might add.
I did a painting that's in the Air Museum now of one of our trips to Balikpapan in Borneo.
Wow.
And I worked with one of the pilots, and we had actual planes that were flown on that trip. And we sold prints from the painting to raise money for some Air Force reunions.
Are you still doing paintings?
It doesn't work out very good anymore.
Well, I've seen some of your work. You've sent me some of it, just fabulous work. So I know you're a very talented artist, and it's kind of neat to tie your World War II history into some of the artwork that you've done.
I did a picture right after I got out of the war, before I went to art school of a B-24 flying over in Australia.
Can you hear that sound still? And close your eyes and bring yourself back to being in that B-24?
Easy.
Is that right?
But these reunions, there's a reunion going on right now out in Georgia. And most of the pilots and all the crews and everything are not around anymore. So most of the people that come to these reunions are sons and daughters and grandchildren and things like that.
Yeah.
So I quit going to them. I could go anyway now.
We're losing you all too fast, unfortunately. It's the greatest generation, and it's one of the reasons I love this honor flight effort, which brings World War II vets to the memorial to see the memorial built in their honor. And we're taking another group from Bismarck a week from Friday, as a matter of fact.
And isn't there going to be one from Grand Forks too?
I don't know if there has been one from Grand Forks, and there may be a follow-up one coming.
I think I heard it the other day.
Yeah, this is the second one from Bismarck, part of the Roughliner honor flight. So it's neat how it's kind of taken off all across North Dakota to get North Dakotans and
I watched a couple of the guys when they were talking about it the other day on the air.
That's neat. Did you enjoy it? Seeing
Yeah.
the memorial? Had you been to the memorial before?
No.
That's a sight to behold, isn't it?
I've never been to Washington before. Always went west.
That's a neat effort. It really is to be able to get you guys to see that memorial. Well, Bob, Gene, rather, it's great to catch up with you. I appreciate you stopping by the studio and coming over to say hi today, and to not have us have to converse by email, but rather face-to-face.
This is much better.
Check up on you and say hi and give you a little tour of our new studios here, which we'll do after the program today. So,
okay.
God bless you, and thanks for coming over.
Gracias, senor.
Good to see you. Gene Lysaker. That's how Norwegian we say it, right?
I speak Norwegian with a Spanish accent.
All right, there you go. So I'm right to say Lysaker, right?
Lysaker.
Since I'm Norwegian, I can say Lysaker.
Yeah, if I hear Lysaker, I turn around, but otherwise I don't.
There you go. Gene Lysaker from Twin Valley, Minnesota, World War II vet, our guest on the Scott Adams Show and the Common Sense Club. Wrap up the hour after this for you, folks. Don't go away.
Not for a while anymore. Not too much now. Well, how are you feeling?
I feel great.
You look great.
Hang on 2 seconds here. Just got a couple of minutes to say goodbye. (9909) President Obama takes to the United States Congress tonight for a nationally televised address to make the case for big healthcare changes. 29th, the speech going to be the charm on 9909 tonight, evidently, and promising lots of clarity about the best way to move forward. So we have tomorrow planned for lots of coverage on recapping all of that for you on the Scott Hannon Show. By the way, we also have some special plans for 9/11 commemoration that'll happen on Friday. A Wednesday edition of the program. What's on your mind, Krista? Worked out fabulous. And Bob, too.
You had a few medical problems before you went, didn't you?
Trip, right? Because you were scheduled to go and then had to postpone it, right?
Because I got a pacemaker the day before.
Pacemaker.
No, we can't go on the plane with
Pacemaker.
Oh, goodness sakes.
He has diabetes and also several ailments.
I had prostate cancer. I got that cured. Now it's just full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead?
Yeah.
Just keep cranking.
But the reason I have to use the walker is because I got neuropathy in my feet from my diabetes for 25 years. And I can't feel my feet when I'm walking, so I trip over things. But the walker works pretty good.
That would make driving a little difficult.
I got to thinking coming to Southside one night day, and I almost pulled out. And here's the car coming. I didn't see it. We just don't have any wheel like this anymore. Give my voice out of that. I have trouble combing my hair. So it's pretty messed up most of the time.
But he always has a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We have a nice little exchange by email.
Is that right?
Stays in touch good. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
We started talking about this, I guess last week, I believe it was, and he suggested it would be fun to see your flag station, and so we kind of decided he'd give you a call or email, and that's how it came about.
Yeah, so glad you did.
I was on a trip with you way back in 1970, 71, something like that, over to Norway. Yes.
Still doing it.
You're still doing it, that's what I understand. Okay, thank you, Carol.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, very good. You go on in. God dagen. Du förstår inte norsk, gör du? Nej.
Just because we can use it. Okay. There's enough room there for you. Kan du ska vi Did you also sign your name here?
I can do that.
For us, name and where you're from, each of these guys. You?
Yeah.
It's our pleasure.
That's my home in Norway too.
No, he mentioned
Right by the church. Yeah.
What was your home in Norway?
Golden Hallingdal.
Oh, yes, yes. I've stayed there.
Paris Hotel or Solstad?
Is the Ostenfjord still open at Nesbyen?
The what?
Ostenfjord?
Not Ostenfjord.
Yeah.
I know, that's close.
Oh, it is.
Ostenfjord. No,
Oh, Ostenfjord. Okay.
Were you there?
Yeah, summer solstice, you know, the first day of summer.
Yeah.
this gentleman here, this signature.
Oh, you better sign it.
You made so far?
132.
132, okay. That's about 130 more than I have.
In 1 year?
Every year. There's this one.
In Norway, it dates back to 1240.
How about number?
Ha det riktigt bra. Tack för denna gången. There you go.
When I was a little kid, I used to go to the Norwegian movie.
Oh.
And it turns out it's a town, churchy was up here, and all the church
there was a building top. You see that mustache stuff? They had those garden cups, so when they drank coffee.
Okay, this is movie, and we're gonna move to Twin Valley now.